There we go. So I'm going to pull up my own website here, dashboard. And my dashboard has a little more on there because I also have my Google Calendar on mine. Most of you know you can book me online. Just pick a time and date that works for you. And here's the blog post, your events, and I have a members area, so I have subscriptions as well. Here's my contacts. I have 2,291 now. And anytime someone, let's look at, see all of these labels that have been created. So anytime someone sets up a consultation, they get into my contacts. So, or anytime that they read or look at any of my emails or RSVP to an event, they get entered into my contacts. So you can see that I can actually, anyone that's contacted me, I can do an email to them. Anyone that filled out my contact form, I can just email those clients. And then this shows us that we have inactive, bounced, unsubscribed, and subscribed. So you have a lot of labels in here depending on how you set your website up. If you have events that are RSVP to, that creates a brand new label each time. So let's go back to the dashboard. And then the inbox. Before I cover these, I want to go back over here and show you that here's your website. It shows you what kind of plan you're on. It allows you to view from here. You can also manage your plan. You can change your plan. You can get a mailbox. And you can manage roles for whoever is on your website. If you have an assistant, marketing assistant, or a transaction coordinator, or an executive assistant, or any kind of admin that is going to be managing your website or maybe putting your blog on, you can just simply go to manage roles and add them so that they have their own login and password, and you don't have to give out your login and password. Because should they leave you, you can just delete their role, delete them from your permissions. So under site actions, you have a lot of things here that you can do. You can create a new site, you can duplicate your site, you can rename your site, view it. You can invite people, you can throw it in the garbage. Don't do that, please. You can also edit your site. And then it's going to show you your business overview. So your latest email campaign, your blog posts, et cetera, et cetera. So a lot of that is here for you. Analytics and insights. So this is over here under analytic reports. And if you look at your traffic overview, you're probably not going to see any real patterns until at least 90 to 120 days. But it's good to take a look at that, and you can change the date. Say if you want the last 90 days, you can change that to see what the 90-day overview is. I like to look at more than just 30 days. And if you look at these spikes in here, you want to try and figure out what caused that spike. Now, I know this spike was because I was running a Google ad. So the Google ad drove a lot of traffic to my website. You can see here my traffic was up by 459%. The direct was 236%. My Google leads, Wix email marketing, 491%. So you can kind of get to know what pages they're looking at and how much traffic, unique visitors versus returning visitors, how many sessions, and where are they coming from. I think we all get notices now and then that someone from the Dublin, Ireland was on there, or someone from Hong Kong or the Philippines showed up on your website. That's probably because they're finding you online and looking at your website, because you may have enough SEO that they're finding you easily. So let's go back here to inbox. Anytime they fill out a contact form, the conversation is going to be in here. So for example, here's, you can see she booked a consultation. You can see what she has received from me, what we've talked about. So it keeps a complete log of our conversations in here, which is really nice to have. CRM tools. CRM tools are mainly so you can set up some automations. So if someone fills out a form, like contact me form or the sidebar pop-up form, you can have automatic automation say, thank you for reaching out. We'll get back to you as soon as possible. So it's good to get in here and play with some automations and see what you have. I have several. I send a thank you for anytime someone RSVPs to my events. And if they like or do anything on my blog post or comment, I have an automation set up there. So I have 2 active automations, 87 have been triggered, and 70 emails have been sent. And it gives you suggestions on what you should do. So you just have to kind of explore these automations. Form submissions. So I only have a couple on here. You're going to see more on yours because I think you guys all have at least 4 forms on your site. And I'll show you that. I'm going to switch back to Tanya here in a minute. I'm going to go ahead and go to marketing and SEO so I can get out of mine. Here's the marketing and SEO, marketing home. So this tells you what all you've got, your marketing planner. You can set up your calendar on what you want to do, marketing throughout the week. You can track your recent campaigns, your email campaigns. You can check how you're doing on Google. This is your Google Search Console, if that's been connected. Some of you, I don't think, Tanya, we haven't done that yet for you either. And Josie, I can't remember if we did it for you or not, but we will just double check that. So this is pretty cool that you can see what's happening with your Google My Business profile straight from your dashboard. You can also now connect your Google My Business to your website and manage your reviews that you get on Google, which is pretty awesome. And we do get found on Google. Most of you I've done that for, except for the newest ones I've haven't had a chance to yet. We have our SEO tools. Most of you shouldn't have anything to mess with the SEO stuff, and to get found on Google should already be done for you. So email marketing, this is one of my favorite new things, and this is where you can actually create a newsletter or any kind of email that you want, and it has more templates here, so you can look at all the other templates. You can pick a template that you think would be easy, like send a newsletter. Just use the template. It automatically puts in your personal logo. You can change just by getting in here and editing this. You can change the content. You can also go to add and add more text if you want. You can change the color right here. You've got a full text editor. You can put in hyperlinks. You can do justification, bullets and numbers. You can change the font to anything you want. You can also change it from a heading, like a medium heading, large heading, small heading, or maybe just a paragraph. and you can change the size. So it's a full text editor that you have over here. And if you decide, oh, I don't really want that in here, you can also move it wherever you want it. And if you go, oh, I don't really want it at all, you can hit remove and it takes it completely out. So this is a button, and this is where you can add visit my site. You can say, check out my newest blog and put a URL into your newest blog. But it's usually, you have to have a URL that you put in there, but that's what a button is for. It's a clickable link. So also you can design it. Again, you can change the font, the text color, the color of the button itself. If you have a border, you can create a border. Like if I wanted to say, put a black border around that, and then I can say, make it 4 pixels large, and then alignment. I can have it align in the box and say apply. So really easy stuff to do. Images, when you add an image, let's add it right there. It's going to take me to my media gallery. And you can pick whatever picture you want out of your media gallery and put it in there. And you can also, if you need to change the image, you go, nah, that's not quite right. You can upload one from your computer. So if you want to add a link so that it is connected to something, you just put in the URL for the link. Excuse me. So let's go to add. These are just dividers, so you can break up the sections. You can pick a little decoration to go in there if you want. Let's go back to add video. Let's go add a video right here. So if I go over here to mine, okay, so here's one. I'm going to just put this video, copy, go back to my little newsletter that I have going on here and say YouTube, and Control V is paste, apply, and there's the video that I just put in. So columns is a good one. I love this one right here. So you notice that it's a picture with text and a button, and the picture's on the left. If I want to have the picture on the right, I just switch it over to there. Or if I want a section with just a picture and text, no button, I just go ahead and click that one without the button. Or I can create 2 columns. Super easy. Anyone have any questions about newsletters? It'll put a whole footer in here. So anything that you want to do, it will put in here. You can also preview and test it. So you can send yourself a test email. And let's see, let's just pick that, say send. And that way you can check it out as you get it in your inbox. Sounds like it's here. There it is. This is what we have so far. And if you, once you have it the way you like it, then all you do is say,
I have a question.
Back to editing.
So when I build this and I'm going to email this out to, for example, my database, I would have to import my contacts in here to send this out, or can I embed this somewhere else? So like my in command and send it? That's where I'm lost.
No. Yes, you have to import them in here. You can't export the newsletter and import it into command.
Got it.
Patsy, question
Yes.
about this. Is this just as easy to use, in your opinion, as like Mailchimp in terms of making a newsletter?
Diane, what do you think?
Hi, everybody. I have come to the point where I really prefer the Wix platform over Mailchimp. It gives so many better design options. So when I send out a newsletter, it stands out. It looks better, super similar in how it's used.
This is the one she sent out.
Yeah, I just created this one, and they're similar to use, but I just felt it just, Mailchimp is we all recognize Mailchimp when it goes out. And so this feels a little more custom for my clients. So there was a slight learning curve, but once I figured it out.
And can we say it's free?
Yeah. Why pay for Mailchimp? And it's really easy to import the CSV file. I know that sounds like a pain to have to transfer your contacts over. It really isn't a huge deal. So if you think this looks great, so this background I have right there, I just went to Canva and thought, so my theme was beliefing. I just did an 8.5 by 11 background and pulled it over. And so it's a totally custom newsletter that no one else has. So kind of depends on what you're looking at. It's fun, but I'm weird.
Diane, no, I'm glad to hear that, because I'm not that skilled at this sort of thing, and I've finally kind of figured out how to use Mailchimp. But if it's similar enough to get me started,
you'll find it's very similar.
Good.
Very similar.
Yeah, it is. It's just drag and drop.
Another question for you guys. I send out emails on Mailchimp for my community group because I'm part of a neighborhood improvement group, and I've noticed that recently they used to pop into everybody's regular inbox, but over the past year, for those of us who have Gmail, it's been popping into like promotions or somewhere else, and people haven't been getting it. Is there, does this go into most people's regular email box?
Most of the time, not all of the time. And a lot of it depends on how many are in your, like if you're sending out 2,200 like I do, sometimes it can go into the promotions, but a lot of times it ends up like, I just showed you Diane's, and I'm showing you Dean's right now, and those both came into my inbox.
Okay, there's nothing we can do on our end to force it into the primary inbox?
The only thing I would say is that, and he has Dean at deanpalholmes.com, and a lot of times when it has that kind of email, it will go into promotions because it sees it as a promotional business type email, not a personal email. So where mine has patsymecca at Gmail, it's a first and last name, and it's not a business, it's just a Gmail account. So a lot of times the email servers, and it depends on the email server and what their algorithm is, like Outlook and Yahoo or whatever, they're going to look at this as a real person, where they may look at this as a business. So it just depends on the algorithm of the email server and how many you may have in that email. So the same thing goes, you can always duplicate this and send it out to another label. So you don't have to send it all out at one time to all of your contacts. You can create labels or have labels created so that it just sends out maybe 100 at a time, and just keep duplicating it and sending it. But I wouldn't even go to that extent, because it also depends on how each individual has their email account set up as to what goes into where and how tight of a restricted account they may have. So I wouldn't get into the weeds so much that because so much is out of your control. You know, try it, see if it works. That if it doesn't work, then you have to try something else.
Okay, thanks.
So that's newsletters. So all you're going to do is say next, and then it's going to show you, once you have it the way you want it, it's going to show you all your labels in here, and you can pick whichever or all of them. Like if I want to say subscribed, I never send it to all because there's people that have unsubscribed, and I don't want to send it to them if they've unsubscribed. So you want to make sure you just send it. If you're going to do all of them, send it to the subscribed. And then you just say next and it sends it. It lets you edit the subject line before you send it, and it lets you edit your name before you send it. So it's pretty easy and kind of fun to use.
Can I give you a little hint there when you're sending out your subject lines and the header? Don't put, here's my real estate newsletter for July. Nobody cares. But it's really easy. Just Google fun subject headlines for real estate. You'll find stuff that is more appealing and appetizing to your clients.
And
So
don't put
that's
it in
my
all
hint.
caps. Make it like a sentence. Keep it in a sentence case. And as you're creating your subject line, Wix is giving you ideas and suggestions. So it's not going to just let you get into the weeds. So that's your monthly newsletter. And if you have one that you really, once you set up a template and you really like that template, like this is the template that I like right here. All I have to do is say reuse it, and I can create another new one. So every month I can use the same template. I'm just changing out the content, the images, the text, and that way you don't have to recreate the wheel every single month or every week if you're sending out a newsletter. So that's newsletters. You can do anything in email marketing. You can just send out a regular one. If I create a blog, it asks me, do you want to send it to your contacts? Sure, I'll send it to my contacts. It's another touch, right? You don't want to send them so much all the time that they start avoiding you or not seeing it. Facebook and Instagram ads. Now, I have not tried this yet. You have to get it, attach your Facebook and Instagram. This is really new, so I'm not going to be able to give you much advice on this. And I'm kind of waiting for them to work out any bugs that they might have. And honestly, I never use Instagram, and I hate all the ads on Facebook. So I never have really gotten much out of Facebook ads. I do get quite a bit out of Google ads, but for those, you might, especially you KW agents out there that are trying to do Facebook ads through command, do one on your Wix website and then do one on command and see which one you get has better return on investment, your ROI for the dollar spend that you're putting in. And then decide, do I use it from Wix or do I use it in command? Also on here, this is where you can attach your Google My Business and manage your reviews. Here's my Google My Business, and I can manage my reviews. I can see my insights. I can see what it looks like on the maps and on the Google search. Social media posts. This is not as good as Canva, but if you just need to create a quick social media post for like a blog or something that you're doing, there's quite a few in here that you can just look at the templates, and it says create post. Well, it's just going to give you that one template, but you can look at all of the templates, explore all templates, and pick one that best fits. And again, this is just like if we use this one and we want to change that, we can make it darker or lighter. Here's another image on here. This is the background. Here's your text. You can just change it as much as you want when you get it the way you want it. See, you go to next, and you should be able to share it directly to your social media, Facebook and Instagram, or you can download it. And this is what you're going to write to go along with your new post. Now, like I said, I don't think this is as good as Canva yet, but that's okay. It's really great for quickly putting something out there that you may need, or creating an image for a blog post that you may need. And the same thing with a video maker. This I love because you can go on here and create videos very quickly. I learned that when you're creating videos, it gives you 4 areas to put text in. And I started leaving those blank now, because trying to organize, is it 3 images before that first text comes out, or 4 images, and you know, what text do I want in between this image and that image? I gave that up. And I just, if I have text, I put it on the image. I create it on the image. So let me show you this one real quick. And it lets you add music or a voiceover. And then it says share, and you can upload it directly to your YouTube channel, which is content, SEO content. And then you can share it from YouTube, or you can share it directly to Facebook, or download the MP4 file for Instagram or whatever. You can actually load up to 15 videos in here. So if you go to templates, you can just go pick a template that you like. There's square, there's ones that look like they're taken on a phone, and then the landscape. But if you're going to put this up on YouTube, do the landscape templates, okay? And it tells you what they're best for. So these are best for Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, Instagram and Facebook, best for YouTube and Twitter and Facebook. And these are super simple to use. You only get 5 a month to do on your Website Pro account. So you could do 1 a week. And I have taken like information from CAR. And let's see. We'll just take a quick look at this one. And car.org has, oops. It did not like that. My videos. Preview and edit. There we go. So this was on Contra Costa for June. And I just put some pictures in, and I put the information from the car update for Contra Costa. So they're really nice ways to make little videos without you have to be in them and getting them organized. And then I use that, you can use these in your blog post as well. So once you create a video, it's going to be, if I go over here, let's say I go to a blog, and I'm going to create a new post. And I put in my catchy title. And then I want to put in add. If I want to add a video, I can go to upload video. And I have a new folder called Video Maker for making a video. So when I open that up, it has all the videos that I've made using my dashboard. And I just pick the one that I want. And there you have it. And then right below there, you can start writing your blog. And then once you get it done, you can post it directly to Facebook. And that's the big thing. So many of you post so much directly to Facebook, and all you're doing is giving Facebook SEO. If you posted it here on your blog first, and then if I just put anything in here, let's just put anything in here, and then say save. And then once I publish it, I can push it directly to Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn, or even create an email campaign with this blog. But what happens when they go to read that, they click on it and it comes back to your website. So now you're driving traffic to your website. You're building SEO, okay? So I've got something here in the chat. That was John. We'll get back to John later. But see how easy that was? I'm going to delete this post. So that pretty much covers everything that's in your dashboard. So now we're going to go over and pick on Tanya. Here's the Tanya one that's not published yet. And what we're going to do is we're going to go over here to the Wix dashboard. I've already opened it up. I clicked on edit site. So I've already opened up her website. And this is what it looks like on the back end. These lines, these dashes are showing you that if you take anything outside of this, there's a big chance that it may not be visible on someone's laptop, if they have a 15-inch laptop, or if they have their settings set to where they're 110% zoom. There's things that are going to be off screen. And it just depends on whoever is looking at it and what their settings are up here and what size their screen is. There's nothing you can do other than try to keep within these borders. If it's within these borders, it should be able to be viewed on any type of media. Unless they've got it so far zoomed that it brings it in closer than these dash lines. So we don't have any control over that. You guys do have somewhat control by keeping everything within these lines. Sometimes we can go the full width if the feature that we're working with gives us this stretch to full width. And if it gives you the screen, then it usually responds to the screen that it's on. But not everything does that. So you want to make sure that you have everything within these lines if possible. And anytime we make changes on the website, we also have to switch to our mobile and just make sure that we didn't screw up the mobile, that the mobile still looks good. But most of you are primarily going to be adding testimonials, adding a blog, probably working more in the dashboard than on your actual website. But let's say you have content that you want to change. Like, I don't like the way Patsy wrote that mission statement. So I'm going to change that. So I'm going to double click this text box and it says edit text. Now I can go in here and make any change. Oops. There we go. Haha, Tanya. And make any changes that I want in here. And it should just let you type whatever you want. Now, if you want to save it, you have to hit save and publish. I'm going to get rid of that. And let's say I save it and I went, oh, dang it, I shouldn't have saved that. Okay, I accidentally took something out. I can go to my view site history and restore the version just before I saved it. This was just now, this was the one before it. So even if you screw up, you have a way out. Or you can call me and I'll show you the way out. So let me show you how to add testimonials and blogs. And for those of you that have featured listings, you don't even have to come in to edit your website. You can do it from your dashboard as well. And it's right here, Content Manager. We haven't got Tanya's live yet, so I guess I'll have to pick on someone else. Let's try this one. All right, so when you're in the dashboard, you go to your Content Manager and you see here's her properties or my listings. Here's her testimonials. And you access the blog from up there. So testimonials, we're going to go over here to testimonials, and you can see that it's only 2 columns, a title and a review. So you go scroll down at the bottom, hit the plus sign, and you can put in a review. Whatever you want. Make sure you just kind of keep it consistent. And then under review, you copy and paste, whether it's from Google reviews, Zillow review, Reach 150, all those different review places, even Facebook. Or if they leave a review on your website under the leave a review page, it's going to be here in your inbox. You just copy and paste it over to here. And you have to use a Control V to put it in there. I'm going to actually not put it in there because I don't want to screw up her website. But all you're going to do is say sort out of date, and it will put the most recent one on top. And you're done. It's that easy to add a review. So let's go back to Content Manager and look at properties. So properties, same thing. It's just a spreadsheet, and you can see the title and what to put in. You'll learn that there's certain ones that you shouldn't leave blank, like an image, because all of these are tied into something somewhere. So you need to just hit the plus sign and start filling it out. Just fill out each column. Like, what is the price? How many square foot? Et cetera, et cetera. Super easy to do. Then it's going to say sort out of update, out of sort, so I can put the newest one on top. And when it goes onto your website, it actually goes by status date. So you always have to put today's date in there. But let's say let's say the status on this one is active. Oops, let me go over here. Here's the status right here. Let's say it's active and I just sold it and we closed. So I can go in here and change it from active to sold. But when I do that, I also have to change the status date. Okay. Now I can also if I have 3 other actives and I want those to show up on top, I can backdate this. I can put any date I want in here. Any questions on that? Not everyone has this feature, the properties feature. This is an add-on, but let's just look and see what it does on the website. So under our featured listings, she's got her featured listings here. These happen to be sold, but if she has active ones, because the active ones show up on top, they will always show first. And if I say, let's preview the site here. And if I click more, it's going to bring me to her featured listing page. And then if I want to find out more about this individual property, I click more and it takes me to a single property website. So Tanya, I hope you're going to stay on so we can get your website transferred. We need to get this live today if we can.
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Okay, good. All right, so that's, let's go back to creating video newsletters, social media posts. We'll talk about the live chat. We haven't covered events. We've talked about editing text, but let me show you how to add images. And I did those, adding blog page. All right, so let's go back over here. So let's say it's the holidays, and yes, I love Tanya's video here because we were able to source actual video of her town that where she primarily works. I think this is Springfield, right? And we put some families
Yep,
in here. Yeah. So if we want to change that because it's the holidays, we can always go back to this. So we are going to click on this video and say change strip background. Let's see if it's going to behave. On top of sharing my screen with Zoom and recording, things happen kind of slowly when you're doing this. All right, change strip background. And we want to go to video. And under site files, this is your personal media right here. Under my boards, you may have some favorites. Under site files, you may have some that have already been purchased for you. I usually try to put several in there that I have purchased from Shutterstock. If you don't have them, yeah, you've got several in here already that you could use if you wanted to. Or you can go to media from Wix and get them for free, or you can go to Shutterstock and let's put in holidays. I think I had the dancing Santa and reindeer last year. That was kind of fun. I love this dachshund going on the beach. But yeah, these are only $15.99. So they're really inexpensive to purchase. And then once they are on your site in your purchase folder, you have them forever. So you don't lose them. So anytime you want to change your own video, you can go in here and see what they have available. They're getting more and more real estate. Real estate ones, but I try not to use too many of these because they usually have a different realtor in them than you. If the realtor doesn't look like you and they know it's not you, it's not going to work. I like happy families. I really don't care for these aerial views of houses. It's boring. You want something that's going to catch their attention and hold their attention. So the same thing with any other image that's on your site. Let's say Kristen is no longer with us, so we're going to change this out to the new TC. We just click on the pictures, say change image, and we go change it to someone else. I'm not going to actually change it. But you just pick the image that you want and it brings it in here. And then I click on this part and edit the text. And click on here and edit the text. And then hit save and publish and you're good to go. So it's really easy to change the text. If you see something that I messed up on, there's a misspelling or something in here,
Actually, now's a good time to do that, Patsy. So Melissa's Philip, it's a P, no S at the end. So that'll be good while we're training.
Oh, let's get rid of her S.
There you go. And she's on too, so she'll be happy.
Hi. So let's say we have something like that. So if we've got a page here for Melissa that where we misspelled her name, chances are it's going to be misspelled over here on her page. So we can go over here and rename it. And all we do is back out that S and say done. And notice it took us to her page. So again, we're going to go take out that S just by editing the text. You can blame that on my friend Jules. She has an S on her Phillips. Her Philip. Looks like we got it all. So now we're just going to hit save. And oh, dang it. I didn't want to publish this. This is your copy, not your actual website. Okay, so anyway, it's that easy to change. And let's say you get a new headshot. All you have to do is click on your headshot and say change image, and then upload it into your media gallery and say choose image, and bam, it's changed. Super easy. If you want to add a phone number here, just edit the text, put in the phone number, and you're done. Always make sure that you save and publish. All right, so we're at the end of our time, and so I'm going to stop the recording. Does anyone have any questions? Has this been helpful?